Morning, Willie. Right. Good morning, everybody. Is everybody hearing me okay?
Morning, Chair. Yep.
Yes, thank you.
Yep,
Right.
morning, Chair.
Hearing you.
I can hear television in the background. I don't know if somebody's got a television on. Can that be
I
switched off?
I haven't finished play school yet. It's actually my granddaughter. I'll just get it turned down. Gareth. You've got a child crying here now. Yes, I'll be fine. Right, we'll start in. Thanks for coming to this Wicklow Area Committee meeting on Wednesday, 3rd of March. First, we'll have the said written apologies and Chair's approval of members' remote participation.
Thanks, Chair. We've got 6 members present. Currently not present in the meeting is Councillor Giusti.
Councillor Giusti. Thanks, Tracy. Item 3, previous minute, 9th of December. It's just for noting.
Chair,
Aye, hello, yeah. Where are we?
Chair, sorry. Can I jump back to item 2, declarations of interest? I'd like to declare an interest in item number 6. I am the chair of Wigtonshire Women's Aid. I'm also a director of the Whithorn Trust, and I've also supported the Fairy Friends in their funding application. So because of those 3 items, I'm going to withdraw from that item. I'm not going to take part in any discussions on the item 6.
Very good, Katie. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We have.
Chair,
Who do we have? Jim.
Jim, yes. I believe I'm still a director of the Whithorn Trust. No one has informed me to the contrary, so I will not take part in the items relating to the trust.
You've got to be careful on this, Councillor, because one day you can be something, the next day you're away, nobody tells you. But
Tell me every day.
that is noted, Jim. Right, item 4,
Chair, I've got Willie Scobie wanting to come in.
if he must. Willie? Willie? Is he not hearing me, Tracy, or
I think he's maybe just getting his headphones in.
screwing his head on?
I'm just trying to fit my way around all these buttons. Can you hear me now?
Want me to come out there and show you?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, hear you now, Willie. There you go.
Aye, it's not only the Waynes that get upset, Tommy. Could I declare an interest in item 5, where I'm involved in the Scottish Week, and as a monitor and report, I believe, on the previous Scottish Week, and again, I think it's on item 6, where it refers to the Fed Up Cafe, and I have a close relative who works for the Fed Up Cafe.
Okay, Willie, that's fine.
Chair, could I just ask what the situation is with declaring an interest on this remoteness, this way of working? Have you got to come out of the meeting and come back into it? Because at law or within the legislation, you should leave the meeting.
There's the hokey cokey.
Aye, you know, what is it? The whole thing's.
Well, ask Tracy. She'll maybe help us out in that. Tracy?
Yeah, thanks, Chair. Yeah, if you're making a declaration of interest, I would advise that you leave the meeting. I can call you back into the meeting once we're finished with that item so that you know when we're resuming and you can come back in.
Thanks, Tracy.
Thanks, Tracy. Right, well, where are we now? We're back to road network management, street naming. Who's this? Who's taking this? Which officer?
It's Kevin Morrison, Chair. Kevin, you're on mute.
Thank you there. Thank you, Chair. It's Kevin Morrison, Roads
Hi,
Planning,
Kevin.
Team Leader. How you doing? Basically, the agenda item number 4 is street naming, development of Shalley Road, Portpatrick. The purpose of the report is to consider the naming of the roads being formed at the above development as per the plan. There's no alterations to the report. Members are recommended to agree Fairway Road, Fairway View and Fairway Place as the preferred names for the new roads associated with the development. Thank you, Chair.
That sounds fine, Gavin. Anybody any objections to that? We agree item 4 then.
Agreed.
Thank you very
Happy
much.
to agree.
Thank you. Item 5, discretionary budget performance monitoring. Report by Community Planning and Engagement Manager, who is Ingrid.
It's myself, Chair. Thank you very much. So this is the monitoring report for the discretionary budget in 2020-21. You'll note that there was additional information that was provided to this report, and that was with relation to the Wigtonshire Sports Council providing their monitoring information, which came in a little bit late, and there was also just an update on the allocations that were made after the meeting on the 9th of December.
Yeah. Members? Questions? Somebody?
Chair, can I jump in? I don't. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jim.
Just a wee clarification, Chair. 3.3. It states there discretionary budget allocated to Nithsdale Area Committee.
Oh,
Was
apologies, that's
just an omission.
Yep, absolutely. Apologies for that.
Thank you very much indeed.
Glad you're there, Jim.
Thanks.
Anybody else?
Chair, if I can jump in, please.
Yes, sure.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you. So thanks, Ingrid, for the report. I'm just conscious, if we're looking at the recommendations, we've got 2.3 agree to carry forward the remaining balance of £2,247.34. Now, I'm not sure if we actually agreed or noted item 3 on the agenda, which was our past minutes. But if we go back to the minutes from December, let me just get them up, 9th of December, we were agreeing to transfer or pass over, let me just get the accurate amount here. It was 3,000 odd. Now I'm looking at the difference, and I've got a difference of £920.40, and I'm just wondering how that's made up of. I've got the key initiative funding and the additional document that you sent, and I'm just wondering what's that made up of, that £920.40, because it doesn't seem to match up with the figures that are in front of me.
Yeah, and I think that's because it's kind of a bit of a moving feast, this, and it will probably change again just as we get to the end of the financial year. I can tell you that the total budget, as we know, was £62,470.84. The agreed allocations have up to this point £60,583.50. We have got £510, which has come back as underspends and calculations, which is why we've got to the figure that we've got to. The two. I can't remember what the figure is. Sorry. The 2,247.34. Yeah.
Okay. No. Thank you, Ingrid. I guess. I mean, my question, Chair, is we're being asked to note the performance monitoring for 2020, 2021, and we've not actually finished 2021. So how can we be, I feel it's maybe not appropriate that we're getting a monitoring report before the period that we're monitoring is in fact finished. So my suggestion would be, can we feed back as an area committee to ensure next year we don't get the monitoring report until the full year has been complete? Because I don't understand why we're in this situation, because there is still money coming in, there's still money going out, the monitoring reports are still coming in, and the figures that we're reporting, and if a member of public was to look at this, they would be saying, well, there was £3,000 odd, now they're allocating 2,000 to next year. Where's the clear line of all these allocations? And it's really quite difficult to follow, and it's not clear, and I don't feel that it's good enough, really, because members of the public will be asking, well, where's the money all gone to? And we don't have a clear list at the end of year. So I'm wondering, for next year, can we ensure that our monitoring report comes after everything has been complete? And will we get an updated monitoring report once all these allocations and the monitoring, and will we get another update?
So, thank you, Chair. What I would say was that obviously I take your point, and that the monitoring's coming forward before we've reached the end of the financial year that we're working in at the moment, and I'll certainly take that back. We also have an opportunity at the members' seminar, which is taking place on the 10th of March, which is a week away, to have a look at the discretionary budget and how we want to manage that for the coming year. So that could certainly form part of that conversation at that point, and could be fed back in as a result of that as well. Hope that's helpful.
Happy with that, Kay?
Yep, that's grand. I'll make sure I'm available for the 10th of March. Thank you. I do have a dentist appointment, so I'll make sure that I'm back in time. Thank you.
Very good. What else have we got? Just the recommendations.
Chair, can I come in, please?
You certainly can.
Thank you, Chair. Just to go back to that point Katie made on the minutes, on page 9 it does state £3,167.74, and there is a difference of £920.40, as she says, but it also, in the minutes on page 10, it says we agreed to invite further expressions of interest from third sector organisations. Was there anybody came back looking for extra money, and was there an allocation that brought that figure down to what the balance is now?
Yes, so in the additional paper that I provided, sorry, Chair, but if you're happy for me to continue, the additional paper that was...
No. On you go, Ingrid.
Thank you. The additional paper that was presented the other day, it gives you the detail around that. Now, who came back in for that money was the Royal Borough of Wigtown and District Community Council, both for the Christmas decorations and festivities money and the community galas and events. Now, what happened there was that, unfortunately, that group were allocated that money previously, but had missed the original deadline, which was in October 2020. So when we reopened, they come back in and got that money. So that was a total of £630.40, which went to them. And then there was also an expression of interest that was received from Stranraer Scottish Week. At your meeting on the 9th of December, you capped the expressions of interest and awards that could be made for them to £500. So they come in for the maximum, which was £500.
I appreciate that, Ingrid. Chair, sorry if I can come back just for a second. I couldn't access the document on my phone. I think that was why it's just coming up as a blank document.
Okay.
And I can't even get it through Teams, so that's apologies for taking up your time, Ingrid.
No, that's fine. Thank you.
No problem. Right, can we look at the recommendations?
Yeah, Chair,
What have we got?
can I just add to this theme?
Jim.
Was application from Cree Valley Community Council also let in the COVID renew and restart? Because it does state the payment of this award was made fairly recently.
Ingrid, do you know anything about it?
So sorry, I missed part of that. I missed this very start of what Councillor McComb was saying.
On page 46, Ingrid, the application from Cree Valley Community Council for COVID-19 renew and restart.
Yes.
States the payment of this award was made fairly recently.
Yes, now the COVID money, you'll recall that the COVID monies were agreed at that same meeting in December 2020. So obviously for the groups, you know, this one Cree Valley Community Council haven't returned their monitoring to date. And they haven't had an opportunity to spend that money. So we're still awaiting their monitoring information coming back.
Thank you.
Right, members. Are we ready to look at the recommendations? Anybody arguing? Right, 2.1, note the performance monitoring information. 2.2, note that over 21,000 citizens have benefited from the delivery of 59, and agree to carry forward the remaining balance of £2,247.34 from 2020 to 2021 discretionary budget to 2021-22 budget as outlined. Do we agree all that? Everybody
Happy
happy?
to agree, Chair.
Very good.
Agreed, Chair.
Agreed.
So nobody's going to start an argument at all? Okay, thanks very much. Item 5.
Thank you.
Chair, on item, are we on item 5 or item 6?
I'm just moving on to item 5, I think.
Item 6 for the
Item-
anti-poverty.
You're correct.
Perfect. So, Chair, I am going to leave the meeting. I am conscious that other members have maybe declared an interest. However, my interest is such that I believe my signature is actually on one of these applications. So it would be completely inappropriate for me to take part in any of the aspects. I am conscious. I'm not sure what that affects in terms of the core rate. So as I say, I do feel that it's not appropriate for me to be part of any of these discussions. But so I'm going to leave the meeting, and I hope that you are still Corey and can carry on. But as I say, I think because my signature is on one of the applications, it would be completely inappropriate for me to stay for any part of this discussion.
All right, thanks for that.
Okay, thank you. And I guess if you need me coming back for any other strategic business, you can phone me back. But thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you very much, Katie. Tracy, are we still correct?
I'm just waiting to see if Councillor McComb and Councillor Scobie are leaving the meeting. Well, Councillor Scobie's wanting to come in, I think, Chair.
Councillor Willie? You wish to come in, Willie?
Yeah, Chair. Thank you. And I'll not cause any argument.
Okay.
Promise. I've got a close relative who works for the Fed Up Cafe and feel that it's appropriate that I leave the meeting as well, rather than take part in any of the discussion.
Thank you very much, William.
Thank you.
We are still correct, Chair.
I declared an interest in the item in relation to the Whithorn Trust.
Just
However,
on that single item, Jim.
yes, only one out of the 7.
Oh, okay, then. Just come in whenever you think it appropriate.
Yeah.
Wendy, are you taking this report?
Good morning, Chair. I'm delivering this report today, and I don't have anything further to add in relation to the information already contained within the report and the 4 appendices. Thank you, Chair, and hello again, members. Good to see you all.
Thanks, Wendy. I'm just looking for that. What page is the recommendations on? Seem to have lost them.
Page 51, Chair.
Right, any questions from members? Realise it's early in the morning, but...
Rose would like to come in, Chair.
Rose, take the floor.
Well, thank you very much, Chair. Yeah, I've got just a question about the scoring. If you look at page 73, I was looking at the sort of the points relative to the amount given, and I note that Wigtonshire Women's Aid scored 121 points, and they actually asked for £2,131.22, and they were awarded that amount. Then, when you look at Stranraer Furniture Project, which scored 111, which is only 10 points between the two projects, they were awarded half of what they asked for. So what is the formula for scoring? Because what I'm not quite sure what the score is out of, and forgive me if I'm not seeing that, but I can't see what the score is out of, or whether it's a percentage, and whether we need to do it on a percentage basis. I don't know if you get what I mean. I'm not sure if I'm explaining it very well, Wendy.
Thank you. Chair, through yourself, I'm happy to answer Councillor Surtees' questions, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Chair. Thanks for your
question there from Rose?
Yes. Yep. I can answer the queries. Yep. So thank you so much, Councillor Surtees. In relation to the scoring, the overall score is out of a total of 140, and we've detailed that in the body of the report. That's actually under section 3.8 in the report, where we're talking about the scoring panel. So the highest score that any of the projects would be able to achieve would be 140, sorry. So the two applications in question, one achieved 121 and one achieved 111. Now, the way that we've always done the allocations of funding in terms of the area committees has been any of the organisations that have received the score and the funding's been available in order of the scoring. So the ones that have the highest score, they would receive the funding they'd requested. So on Appendix 3, you'll see that Creetown Initiative achieved 125 and we're recommending 1,000. Wigtonshire Youth Forum achieved 122 and we're recommending 5,010. Wigtonshire Women's Aid had achieved 121 and we're recommending 2,131.22. And the Stranraer Furniture Project, they achieved 111, Councillor Surtees, but we only actually have £2,866.78 left in the budget. So that's why they've only actually been recommended for that sum, because that's all we have left at this time. If there was more left, they would receive what they had asked for, and then it would move on to the next application, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does.
Does that help at all?
Yeah, thanks very much, Wendy. I tend to sort of get a bit, yeah, thank you for pointing that out. It's very useful. It helps as well to explain it to the public when they have queries about the results. So that's great. Thank you.
Yep. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Wendy, can I ask you the one issue that Jim McComb declared an interest in? What was it again?
It was in relation to the Whithorn Trust. I think Jim's one of the existing directors. The Whithorn Trust haven't had any recommendations made in relation to their application because, again, there was no funding left to make recommendations based on the scoring that was allocated to each of the organisations.
So quite simply, there's just nothing to give them.
Based on the recommendations within the report, we wouldn't have enough to allocate any funding to the Whithorn Trust at this point, but obviously it's still up to the members to decide on the allocations and the way they want to make the grant awards.
Right, I'm just thinking if we can get that one out of the way, I can get Jim back in. But members, have you any thoughts on this particular item? Should we be rejigging the monies to?
Chair, can I come in?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I don't think so. I was looking at that and thinking, well, you know, it's 100%, 100%. The top 2 or 3 get 100%. Whatever's left went to the last one. I don't know whether we should be funding the applications to 100%. I don't know whether that's something we can look at in the future. Happy to leave it as it is for now, Chair.
Fine.
You know, most of these applications could possibly attract funding from somewhere else, which would mean that further down the list we might be able to support them as well.
So as far as this one item is concerned, your suggestion that we'll make no offer. Is that right?
Sorry, what was that? Yes, yeah.
No, which I fully agree with you with. Are there other members on this item?
Chair,
Councillor Surtees waiting to come in, Chair.
Councillor who? Jamie.
It's me, Chair.
Ah, Ross, it's you. Better let you in then.
Thank you. Yeah, I agree with David. I think that I'm inclined to go with the scoring panel. I think their analysis was quite thorough and fair under the circumstances. And as David said, you know, we might be able to look at things when we go to our workshop next week about how we do this in the future. But I think for now, I'm quite satisfied with the scoring panel's recommendations.
Thanks, Rose. Are all other members agreed in that? Somebody speaking? No.
No, Chair, I've just got Wendy Jesson that wants to come back in.
Wendy, you want to come back?
Yes, thank you, Chair. Thank you, Tracy. It was just a tiny point of clarification just for elected members. In relation to the recommendations, the funding that's allocated, that's been requested by the majority of the groups, it's not 100% funding for the project. The only one that's 100% funding is the second one, which is the Wigton Youth Forum for 5,010. So, for example, the one for the Creetown Initiative, they're only actually requesting 12% of the total project costs. So the other three applications there, they're only actually asking for a percentage of the total costs. Because I know traditionally the Wigton Area Committee were very much in favour of a maximum allocation of 75% of costs. And we've discussed that at length before. So it was just to reassure members that the only application today that's looking for 100% of the project costs is the second one, which is the Wigton Youth Forum. The rest are looking for a lot lower of the total project costs, if that helps at all.
Thanks for that, Wendy. Any other members want to come in? You just want to look at the recommendations?
Yeah, thanks.
Right, members, can we agree the recommendations?
Agreed.
Agreed, Chair.
Agreed. Thank you very much. We'll move on to item 7.
Great. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, members. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Wendy. Here I can find the agenda with the item 7, which is Jamie. Can you remind me?
Yeah, item 7. Item is any other business, Chair. But just to check with you, Chair, that item 3, the minute of the previous meeting, was actually agreed. Just to check that that was agreed, Chair.
Yeah, I'm sure it was agreed. And as there's no other business, can I just thank you all for your attendance?
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.